Good evening, everyone. It is Friday, October the 2nd, 2020. It is currently 1 a.m. That's in the background. That's BBC News playing live. We have a lot going on, okay? I don't even know where to begin. Yes, this is an early morning live broadcast here for the News in Focus, for the Theology Central. I'm going back in time, all right? No, this is not the News in Focus, but I'm talking about news. And here we go. Hang on. This is crazy. Here we go.
Hello and welcome to Newsday on the BBC World Service with Bola Mosoro and Alan Kasuja. And we've one big story today. President Donald Trump and his wife Melania have tested positive for the coronavirus.
They are now in quarantine, and he tweeted, "We will get through this together." It comes after one of Mr. Trump's closest aides tested positive for coronavirus. We'll get the latest from our correspondent in the States and also get some expert reaction on what this all means for the imminent U.S. election campaign.
You've been reacting on the World Service Facebook site. Ravi says the president thought he was above everything. But Dala says the Trumps are doing great.
All right. So breaking news. I mean, they're talking about it all over in news agencies not located here in the United States of America. This is the big story right now at 1 a.m. And it's interesting because yesterday I did 3 broadcasts trying to kind of look to 2021. And I talked about what will the future of free speech be? What will the future be in regards to, pedophilia? What will be the future in regards to the election and what's going to happen with the election? And so I talked about 3 things: free speech, pedophilia, and you can go listen to I'm not going to go review everything I talked about, and the election. And I talked about that there's great concern that the election is going to just be absolute chaos, that it could lead to violence and protests and people not accepting the results, and it could just be crazy. Well, now I had no idea. See, I was talking about that around 3 p.m., 4 p.m. Central Time. I had no idea that at 1 a.m., I would be standing here in front of this microphone going live telling everyone President Donald Trump has tested positive for COVID-19 and the First Lady. And now, what does that mean going forward? What does the future even look like? I'm still trying to process it all. This is the weird thing. I was sitting here and I got a news alert, and the news alert said something about President Trump, COVID-19. And I looked at it, and it didn't even really register in my brain what I just saw. I just thought, oh, President Trump saying something about COVID. Okay, whatever. And I didn't really think about it. And then about 30 minutes later, I'm like, wait a minute, what did that say? And then I went back and pulled up the article, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And in fact, here's the article that it says President Trump and First Lady test positive for COVID-19. That was literally the headline. But for some reason, when I read it, I didn't even process it. It didn't even register. I was just like President Trump saying something else about COVID-19. And so, here's the story. President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump have tested positive for the coronavirus. The positive test comes a month until the election. And so, okay, supposedly there's going to be 2 more debates, right? There's supposed to be 2 more debates. I don't know when the second one is scheduled, but clearly, I mean, no way anything can happen for a minimum of 14 days. And then I would assume they'll have to do another test to see if he tests negative. But I mean, and I haven't seen this anywhere. And I don't want to go into wild speculation, but I mean, I'm live. I'm trying to process this. So I'm just going to share some thoughts going through my mind. And please, I'm not trying to be dogmatic in any way, shape, or form. Let me verify something before I say it. I got to verify something before I say it, because I'm still trying to figure this out. Okay. 1 second. Okay. Yes. President Donald Trump is 74 years of age. 74 years of age. If you look at, the people who have suffered the most because of COVID, it has been those who are older. He is older. I do not know the other underlying health issues that he may have. Some would point to possible being overweight. I don't know if there's any other underlying health issues. The thing he has going for him is obviously he's going to receive the best care possible. I mean, he's going to have the best team of doctors around him 24/7, and all treatments will be available to him. But let's just say that, yes, nothing's going to happen. He's going to stay alive. But how long could he, how much of an impact could this have on his overall health going forward? And when I mean going forward, I'm not talking long term. I'm talking the next 30 days between now and the election. In other words, his campaigning comes to an end. His debates not going to happen. And his health declines seriously, right? Now, if his health begins to decline seriously, I mean, we just, let's say it. Is that going to absolutely, just eliminate anyone wanting to vote for him? If his health begins to decline in any serious way, I mean, would we even be told that? I mean, if he gets seriously ill, would we be even told that, or would they try to keep that away from everyone? I mean, who knows? I mean, hopefully, currently, from what I have heard and read, he is asymptomatic, not demonstrating any symptoms as of right now. Probably, I'm assuming the next 72 hours, probably the next 3 to 5 days will be the critical point to determine if he starts developing symptoms, how severe those symptoms are, what type of symptoms he begins to develop, and then we have to just wait and see. Does he develop some symptoms, get over them really quick? We had a college student in our church who had COVID, and there was at least one day there that she was in really bad shape, having really difficult time breathing. They thought they were going to take her to the ER, and so that's someone who's young, someone who has no underlying health issues, someone that of that age and that begin to have those kind of problems. And if they had underlying health issues, I think we could say that it's the potential of being very serious. I think we can at least honestly say that there's a potential of it being very serious. The impact it has moving forward, I just don't know. I mean, if he gets sick, seriously sick, and stays sick leading up to the election, I mean, no one's going to vote. No one's going. I would think that it would possibly change the vote. Seriously, the last I saw, let me look at this. I think stock markets had already started majorly having major impact here. Give me one second. I'm looking this up. You see, stocks fall, dollar climbs as Trump tests positive. Dow futures decline as stock investors worry as President Trump says he tested positive. This is 33 minutes ago. So let's look for 33, the one that just posted 33 minutes ago. The stock market appeared headed for a sharp drop early Friday after President Donald Trump said him and his wife have tested positive for COVID-19. Dow futures, which predict how the Dow Jones Industrial Average will move when the market opens for trading in the morning, fell 401 points, implying an opening decline of about 406. Similarly, futures connected to NASDAQ signal sharp drops. So everything is pointing that when the stock market opens, it's going to go down and go down quickly, which again has impact on businesses and a lot of other things that impact people all around the world. So again, that's something to be on the lookout for. Can 2020 get any, I don't even want to say, can it get any worse? Because obviously it could, but it's just so crazy that we're there. And so I don't know how, I know our world, I know the country is seriously divided over COVID. I know some believe the whole thing's a hoax. Some believe it's overblown. Does President Trump having it change anyone's mind? Does people say that's a hoax? That President Trump is now a part of the hoax? Because originally the theory was that the hoax was created to hurt Trump. Now Trump is saying, yes, COVID. Well, why would he participate in the hoax? Right? If the hoax is designed to hurt him, why would he participate in said hoax? And saying that he has it to me, hurts his chances possibly for people voting on him if they have any question about his health and his well-being moving forward. Now, obviously, nobody should want, I don't care what political side you're on, left, right, up, down, I don't care. We don't want anyone, obviously, to die of COVID. We don't want anyone to suffer. So as Christians, we should pray for his quick recovery, that he will just be asymptomatic and that they'll test again in so many days and it'll be negative and then everyone can move forward. Hopefully we can have a fair, clear election with a clear winner and that the country does not split apart any more than it is. But I guess what we could just take from this right now is just listen. Life is uncertain. I mean, it is. We already know this. We forget it sometimes, but we're not guaranteed 5 seconds from now. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. We're not even guaranteed the rest of today. So we have to make the most of what we have now. And our hope as Christians, our hope can't be in a political party and a political leader. It cannot be in anyone. Our hope is in the eternal God, the sovereign God who rules and reigns over everything, working all things according to the counsel of his will, for his good pleasure, for his glory, and for his purpose. And we have to remain focused on him. We have to fix our eyes on the author and finisher of our faith. We have to fix our eyes on the God who is immutable, unchangeable, the God who changes not, the God that is eternal, the God that is all wise. That's where our focus has to be. As world events are constantly changing around us, the world right now feels like it's shaking. It feels like at times it's falling apart. It feels like everything's on fire. But we have to set our feet on the firm foundation, on our faith, on Jesus Christ, on the Word of God, and that's where our focus has to be. I don't even know what to. When I talked about the future today, and I talked about those three areas, okay, are we, and I talked about sliding down the slippery slope and how that is a logical fallacy. But, the thing that we talked about earlier today is, has the train left the station and we're looking at some future where people want to justify and try to make pedophilia legal. We talked about that. That may seem like a weird topic right now, but if you go listen, you'll see why I was talking about that related to the future. And I tried to clarify some misinformation about some things related to that. We talked about the possible future of the election. What's going to happen, with the election. Are people going to accept the results? And there's all these predictions of chaos happening on election night. I think this adds to that possibility. And then I also talked about the future of free speech. So when I was talking about the future, I had no idea that we would be sitting here now going, well, what happens? I've been listening to the BBC talking about it for about 15 minutes, and they're like, I don't know what happens next in America. I don't know. I mean, even other nations are right now. So what happens next? What happens? According to, I guess, I don't know if we have an official word yet. I know we have Trump on Twitter. I think his last tweet was about an hour ago. I don't know how many official statements have been released, but according to what I have read, President Trump plans on to continue carrying on business as usual, and that nothing is changing right now. Now, obviously, if something was to happen to Trump, then obviously the vice president would step in. That's the way it works here. But obviously he can't campaign, right? He can't go do rallies anymore. And a lot of people, I know a lot of people are going to say, President Trump played this down. He played this down, holding these big rallies. And, many of the people there not wearing masks. And now look at where he is. Is this a cautionary tale to the rest of the country? Does this change any? I don't know. And how are Trump supporters going to feel if he loses the election and he wasn't able to campaign from October the 1st till the election? Now, technically he could possibly be ready to start campaigning again in about 14, 15 days. But, you're in the middle of October. He would only have a few weeks left Now, does it really matter at this point? I don't know who in America could have not made up their mind yet. I mean, really, I don't know. Like, what planet have you been living on? So I think most voters have already made up their mind. I really believe. I think over 1 million people have already voted early. So I think most people already made up their minds. So at this point, I don't think it even matters. Maybe it does. I don't know. That's definitely not my world or my area of expertise. But that's the situation. President Donald Trump has tested positive for COVID-19, and his wife, the First Lady. How is it? Does it spread through? How many other people in the in his staff and the executive staff that could test positive? How far does it spread in the White House? Like, how many people could be infected? How many people could be in contact? This could stay as small, but it could turn into something really major. Lots of people testing positive and maybe a number of people beginning to develop very serious symptoms. Again, doesn't matter what your political leanings is. A person created in the image of God, we believe in the sanctity of life. All life is sacred, so we definitely want to see him get better. No matter what you agree with, whether you agree or disagree with his politics, don't turn it into that nonsense. And this would be true no matter who's president. Doesn't matter if it was a liberal, conservative, doesn't matter. But wow, what a crazy time. What a crazy time. And so I felt compelled to at least, turn everything on, at least start talking. And see what's going on here. Okay. They've moved on to other stories on the BBC. I'll be listening to them. I was going to go back and listen to a lot of podcasts that I missed today that talk about current events and news and etc. But now they all seem outdated. That's just how fast things change. Like, who knows what they were talking about today? Everything they were talking about today, every talk show host, every podcast that was talking about the president, the election, moving forward, everything they said as of this afternoon is there as of anything that they said leading up to just a few hours ago. It's all irrelevant right now. It literally is all irrelevant because literally everything has changed. Everything has changed. Everything has changed about the election. Everything has changed about moving forward. Everything's changed. And that's why as Christians, the one that we have something that does not change, and that is God. He changes not. His word does not change. Heaven and earth may pass away, but the word of God will abide forever. There's some things that do not change. And we as Christians can cling to that, hold to that, stand on that. While everything else seems to be sinking into the sea. Everything else seems to be burning down. And it's just crazy to think about, like all the podcasts I was getting ready to listen to, they're all basically irrelevant now. All of their predictions, all of their thoughts, all of their theories, all of their ideas, it's all irrelevant. Everything's just changed. I think everything has changed. And I don't know what happens moving forward, but we'll definitely talk about it. This is a case where typically I turn on the mic and talk about things from a theological perspective. I don't even know what to say right now other than, wow, what a crazy time. I'm getting ready to sneeze, so I got to hit the cough button. There we go. I was going to say, I'm getting ready to hit the cough button or the sneeze button. And about the time I got ready to, I was in full sneeze. No, listen, I know a sneeze right now is the most frightening sound in the world. I don't have COVID because I haven't gone anywhere. I haven't seen anyone. I hope So no, I'm perfectly okay. You say your voice doesn't sound great. It is like 1:00 in the morning. So at least keep that in mind. I've been up now for who knows how many days. Okay. So, that's wow. Just pray and, trust and hold on because, the next 40, 45 days, 50 days, next 60 days, it's going to be a crazy time in not only in the present for this country, but even historically speaking. We're about to experience a crazy time in this country. COVID rates are going up. If they continue to spread, and if we continue to in this country just lose control over while COVID rates are going up, cases seem to be surging. restrictions are being loosened, and we know flu season's about to hit, and this has the potential of just a mess as far as the COVID side is concerned. And then while all of that's going on, it looks like the election could just be complete chaos. So the next 60 days, just hold on. Hold on. That's all I can say. You got to focus on what's important. You got to realize that this is not your home. That we're pilgrims here. We're strangers. We're passing through. We got to set our affections on things above. We got to keep our focus on those things that change not. We've got to have the right perspective. And I don't know where we're headed. And just be looking out for one another, praying for one another. We need the church. We need the church to be as strong as it can right now. And because man, we need to be a lighthouse. We need to be we almost need to be an oasis. While everything's on fire and chaos, we need to be a place that people can come to hear the gospel, to hear the word of God preached, to get their focused on things of eternal significance, because everything temporal right now seems to be falling completely apart. So just some thoughts for this late night live broadcast. Again, I'll just conclude with, the latest news. President Donald Trump has tested positive for COVID-19, him and the First Lady. He's asymptomatic, according to all reports. He's going to continue on with his duties that he can do, obviously, while in quarantine. He's going to be in quarantine, I think, for the next 14 days. This changes. Campaigning seems to be over. I don't know when the next debate was scheduled, but clearly that doesn't appear to be happening. I don't know. I don't know where we're at, unless they're going to do it like a kind of a virtual debate. Do it from like a Zoom debate, a FaceTime debate. I don't know. I guess that would be easier to mute people's mics, I guess, right? So it's just we will see. We will see. So I'm gonna go listen to everything and see if I can get a couple of hours of sleep, and then today. This morning, I'll be back at Victory Baptist Church for some live broadcasts, and who knows what we'll be talking about. If you have any thoughts or comments, email me at newsif@yahoo.com, newsif@yahoo.com, newsif@yahoo.com. That concludes this impromptu special early morning, I should say. I keep saying late night, early morning live broadcast. Thank you for listening. Everyone have a good morning, and God bless.